Hello and welcome to weeks 20 and 21 of my pregnancy. I found that it's just been easier lately to combine 2 weeks into one video, partially because then, I don't have to take the time out of each week, but also because not as much happens in a 1 week period that I feel I have, a substantial amount of things to talk through. Whereas within 2 weeks, there's enough things that are different from the previous video that I have something to share. So for the past 2 weeks, I have now entered the second half of my pregnancy, which is just mind-blowing. It's one of those things that feels like it's going extremely slow, but very fast at the same time. So not quite sure how that works, but that's how it feels. Let's see. So I've been talking about movement a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and I can for sure say now that I do feel movement. I know what the sensation is. I can pick it out. It's still too early for it to be felt from the outside. I'm guessing it's probably going to be another month or so before that happens. But for me, from the inside, I can definitely feel her kicking and punching and any other acrobatic movements that she's got going on in there. I can even notice some patterns, like right after I eat a meal, she seems to be more active. So I'm sure that's just, she gets the same nutrients that I do through the placenta. And so I'm sure that gives her a little bit more energy and wakes her up and gets her moving. So that's always fun. I kind of described it to my fiance as popcorn popping inside my uterus. Especially in the early stages, that's definitely a good description for what it feels like, because it's not super intense. It's not a very long sensation. It's like these little bursts. So it's just kind of like pop, pop, pop here and there, which, I'm sure her little feet and hands kicking and punching. So definitely exciting and reassuring, obviously, because as long as she's moving around, she's healthy, and that makes me happy to know, I know she's in there and doing well. I have also noticed my bump, obviously, has gotten to a point that it's like a real baby bump. It's there. It's obvious that I am pregnant, and even, strangers or people that I'm not close with that I wouldn't have, told the news directly to are starting to pick up on the fact that, oh, I wonder if she's pregnant, because it's just becoming more and more obvious. Along that same note, I am pretty much fully in maternity clothes now. Pants mostly. I mean, shirts I have enough that are, big enough or long enough that I can kind of use to cover, at least at this point. I'm sure, within a couple of months that might not be the case, and I'm going to have to maybe make the purchase for a couple actual maternity tops. But for now, I bought a pair of maternity jeans that I love. They have the full panel that goes all the way up over the bump to like just right under the bust. And it's just so much more comfortable. I did try one pair where there's only like, I don't know, a 2-inch area of spandex that kind of comes up partially over the bump. And I found that to be very uncomfortable, because either it will kind of like push in to my stomach, or it will start to roll down. So either way, not very comfortable. I have a couple other pair of just like my regular pants that are stretchy. I don't really know how to describe them. I think they're kind of like slacks, like, dress pants, but they're not the typical material. They're more like a spandex. And so they don't have any sort of zipper or button or anything. And so it's just kind of like a pull up pant. And I've been able to wear those, which is nice because then I can rotate through a few different pairs of pants that I have without having to make the purchase for multiple pairs of maternity jeans. I think I'm probably going to end up buying at least one more pair similar to the ones that I bought just because they're easy and, it's nice to have actual jeans and, like I said, ones that come all the way up that are really meant to go over the belly. Those other ones are kind of similar to the pair I described before where it's just, it only comes up part of the way and can be a little bit uncomfortable. I also bought maternity leggings, finally, to wear, around the house and on the weekends, and especially when I'm teaching yoga, because again, same thing, I have a couple of pairs of just regular leggings that work because they're spandex and I can, stretch them out and pull them up, but again, it's just that comfort level of going all the way up over the belly. So kind of making that transition in some of my clothes. And then just within the last maybe 4 days, I've noticed the actual skin of my belly is stretching, which of course is going to happen at some point. I guess I didn't really know when to expect it, and I kind of figured it would take maybe a little bit longer for me because I had gone through a decent amount of weight loss, which means a decent amount of weight gain before that. Meaning I already have stretch marks and things like that. So I thought, you're kind of just retaking up that same area that was already stretched out before. So maybe it's not like creating a lot of new stretch marks. I mean, obviously at a certain point, there's going to be new ones because I've never been pregnant before. So I've never been stretched quite that thin, especially in the belly area. But it was a surprising sensation. I woke up one morning just with like one little area, maybe like a 1 by 1 inch square on my stomach that was like really raw feeling. It was almost like I'd been rubbing up against something all night. So I thought, no, I wonder if I slept funny, something like that. But then I kind of realized, this could be my skin stretching. And then over the next couple of days, it kind of, moved and expanded out from just that one little area and also had a little bit of an itchy feeling to go with it, which talking to other people who have been pregnant before, it's kind of like the telltale sign of the skin stretching is that itchy feeling. So I decided it was time to begin moisturizing. I'm not one of those people that's overly concerned about preventing stretch marks or trying to fix stretch marks because it's just going to happen and I already have them and I'm just not super worried about it. But as far as comfort, that's the part that I'm worried about. So I want to make the stretching skin as comfortable a process as possible. So I think a big part of that is going to be staying moisturized and using a lotion on a regular basis. So I picked up Johnson's baby lotion that has aloe and vitamin E in it. It smells great. It's, feels good to put it on. I've been using it just once a day so far. Not really at any particular schedule or time of day or anything like that, but just trying to get in the routine of using it every day. And then obviously as time goes on, if I need to up that to 2 or 3 times a day, I will do so. Or if I decide to switch to a different lotion, if that doesn't seem to be cutting it, maybe trying some coconut oil or something like that. We'll see how it goes. But those are kind of the major things that have been going on lately. Some of the other smaller changes I've noticed is like with my hair. People always talk about you have this like thick, full, luscious locks of hair while you're pregnant. And I kind of was starting to think I was going to get gypped out of that. Like I hadn't noticed anything different. I've been taking prenatals now for 8 months probably because I took them for a few months leading up to even trying to get pregnant. And just in the last week or so, I've really noticed a reduction in the amount of shedding that I do. So I don't really lose a lot of my hair, which of course means that it's going to be a little bit thicker than usual. And I've also noticed it's a little bit shinier than usual. You can't really tell right now because it's up in a ponytail. But I'm hoping to enjoy that as long as it lasts because I've always had thin and dull hair my whole life. So if I get a few months of nice, full, shiny hair, I'll be happy. Yeah, I went to the eye doctor and nothing changed in my prescription. That's something you hear about, that your vision can change during pregnancy. And in talking to the eye doctor, he even said it's actually quite rare for it to change enough where you would need a new prescription. So he said it probably isn't going to happen, especially, it hasn't happened up until this point. But if I notice any changes in my vision, to just give him a call and we can figure it out. But that was nice because then, no added extra expense of having to get some new glasses or contacts or anything like that. That is all I have for now, so I will check in again with you guys soon.